There are moments at night when the world feels softer, when the noise fades, the lights dim, and all that remains is a quiet sense of safety, gently waiting for you to rest. Welcome back to Bedtime Tales. Take a deep breath, let your shoulders relax, and allow this story to gently guide you into sleep. The cabin sat quietly at the edge of the forest, just far enough from the road to feel hidden, yet close enough to feel connected to the world beyond the trees. A thin trail of smoke rose slowly from the chimney, dissolving into the cool night air as the fire inside crackled softly. Inside, the room was warm, the kind of warmth that settles into your chest and slows your breathing without you even noticing. A man sat in a deep, comfortable chair near the fireplace. The glow of the flames danced gently across the wooden walls, casting soft shadows that moved lazily, as if they had nowhere else to be. He held a mug in both hands, feeling the warmth seep into his palms. The scent of chamomile and honey rose with the steam, calm, familiar, reassuring. Outside, the wind brushed lightly against the windows, not demanding attention, just reminding the cabin that the night was alive. This place had become his quiet retreat, not because anything was wrong in the world beyond the trees, but because here, time moved differently, slower, kinder. He leaned back slightly, listening to the steady rhythm of the fire. Each soft pop of burning wood felt like punctuation in a sentence that never needed to end. Somewhere in the distance, an owl called once, then fell silent again. He closed his eyes and let the sounds wash over him. The fire, the wind, the gentle creak of the cabin settling into the cold night. These sounds asked for nothing. They simply existed. When he opened his eyes again, his gaze drifted toward the window. Beyond the glass, the sky was clear and deep, scattered with stars that shimmered gently, as if they were breathing along with him. The moon hung low, its light resting softly on the treetops. It didn't shine harshly. It glowed, steady and reassuring. He remembered the first night he arrived here. The silence had felt wide then, like an open space waiting to be filled. Now, that same silence felt full, layered with comfort and memory. He took a slow sip from his mug and smiled faintly. The fire shifted, and he reached forward to adjust a log, careful not to disturb the rhythm of the flames. Sparks lifted briefly, then settled back into the glow. Outside, the forest stood still, not asleep, but resting. Branches swayed gently, leaves whispered to one another, and the earth held its breath in peaceful agreement. He breathed in slowly through his nose and let the air out just as slowly. There was no rush here, no expectations, only the present moment, quietly unfolding. The wind softened even more, becoming little more than a distant sigh. Somewhere nearby, a stream moved steadily over smooth stones, its sound faint but constant, like a lullaby woven into the land itself. Time passed in a way that couldn't be measured, not in minutes, not in hours, but in feelings. Comfort settled deeper. Thoughts grew lighter. He rested his head back, his eyes following the slow movement of firelight across the ceiling beams. Each flicker was a reminder that warmth doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. He thought about the small, ordinary moments that brought him here. The long drive through winding roads, the way the forest opened just enough to reveal the cabin, The quiet satisfaction of lighting the fire and watching the room fill with warmth. None of it was dramatic, and that was what made it perfect. The night deepened, but nothing changed in a way that mattered. The stars remained steady. The fire remained faithful. The cabin held everything gently, like a promise it never intended to break. His breathing slowed even more, matching the rhythm of the space around him. Each breath softer, heavier, more relaxed than the last. His shoulders dropped. His hands rested easily now. Outside, a light breeze carried the scent of pine through a slightly open window, blending with the warmth of the fire and the sweetness of the tea. It was a moment that didn't ask to be remembered, because it would always be there, waiting. Eventually, he placed the empty mug on the small wooden table beside the chair. The sound was quiet, respectful of the stillness. The fire glowed now more than it flickered, gentle, steady. He closed his eyes again, not because he was tired, but because being awake no longer required effort. The forest watched over the cabin, the sky watched over the forest, and the night held everything together with quiet care. Thoughts drifted slowly, like clouds passing without needing attention. Nothing lingered, nothing demanded focus, only rest remained. The cabin, the fire, the stars, they all seemed to agree on one thing. This moment was enough. And as the night continued its gentle watch, he allowed himself to simply be, supported by warmth, wrapped in calm, and carried softly toward sleep. You're safe. You did well today. Thank you for spending your night with me. Good night and sleep peacefully.